Hi everybody, hope you're all doing well. Breanne from Pixite here today, and I'm going to be sharing some of my renditions of how I add a little bit of magic to my pieces. If anyone's ever seen any of my finished colorings, I love using light to experiment, and I love adding that extra glow and that extra little bit of something that really draws your eye to a piece. This is the first step that I would do towards making some magic. So I use the airbrush tool and I go tight towards the edges with the white, and I just kind of draw this line around what I'm coloring, but I don't want it to be stark. I want it to blend. So after I draw that line, I open up my brush size. I want it to look like it has a glow. I want it to be almost like an ombre effect. If we zoom out of our picture, you can really see that she's glowing. So after you do that, we're gonna take out our laser tool and we're gonna play with some color here. You can use white, but I wanna use a purple. Lots of times you use light colors and they almost come off as white anyways when you use laser, but you get this beautiful rim around it. Like you get this different color, and you might not be able to see it, but we're just gonna go in and get some of these berries or grapes, whatever you wanna call them, and we're just going to dab them with the laser tool. Now, make big ones, make small ones, and they don't have to be perfect. By all means, they can have a little bit of a rough edge to them, so you don't have to sit and make them look absolutely 100%, because when you look back at your picture after, you will see that it just kind of blends in, right? Okay, so now that we did that, I'm gonna go to my technical pen, and I'm just gonna pick out that same kind of lavender color, but maybe a little bit brighter. I'll use this pewter color instead. I'm gonna have my opacity down a little bit, and I do want a little bit of a smaller brush size. Now, if you go, just experiment with it until you get the size that you want. Okay, there's the size that I want. So you're just gonna wanna make little dots with the technical pen around where you already did the laser. And if you need them a little bit lighter, don't be afraid to do that, because you want it to blend in with the laser. So you see how there's gonna be, when you see stuff kind of lighting up, there's always a duller part to the darkness, right? Behind what's glowing. So that's what we're trying to achieve here. We're trying to make layers of light. It's just sensational. And another thing that you can do with the laser tool, so let's go back to, actually, let's use plasma. Yes, let's use plasma. So I want to demonstrate something that you can do with plasma too. Now, if you bring the opacity down on plasma and leave your brush size fairly high, like have it about at 50% there, if you drag the plasma tool, it makes like these glowy orbs. So you can use that to increase that glow around her. And then if you go back to your laser, the plasma and the laser, they pair very well together. Play with your laser, your size, and your opacity. And now if you go in after you've added that glow, you really get this emphasis on her horns now. And you can really see that it's almost like her horns are magical. You can do the same thing with the laser tool. Now just focus on her dress, and you can add that sparkle and that magic onto her dress now. And if you want to blend in that glitter a little bit, go to your glitter brush and just go over a little bit more where you put those sparkles, just almost adding extra highlight. There's another really cool trick that if you want to make your picture look, you know, just a little bit funky and you want a couple little things kind of happening in the background, if you go to your paintbrush tool and you go to low opacity and you use it on an angle, you can make it look like leaves are falling. It's an angled brush, the paintbrush, so you're gonna want to try and use it on an angle to get that thick but then thin edge at the same time. I really hope that these tips and tricks were helpful today, guys. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.